Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Dr. Shaheen Khanam, and today we are going to study about the brain. Your brain is going to study about itself. So, we'll play a lot of games to understand the brain properly, and it is going to be fun. I'm telling you, it's my guarantee. Stay till the end and keep playing and keep learning. So, game number one, the rule is that you only have to read or tell me about the color and not read the word, okay? Only tell me the color and don't read the word, okay? Are you ready? Let's begin. Wait, what's happening? Are you reading the word and not telling the color? Is it so? Why is this happening? What's happening in the brain? It's happening because our right side of the brain is responsible to perceive colors and the left side is responsible to read words. So you were trying to do both. So there was a clash between them. This is called the conflict of the right and the left hemisphere. Okay. The right side of our brain insists for seeing the color and the left side of the brain insists for reading the word. And this is because the right side is linked with creative work like color and music, and the left side is more with judgment sort of thing like reading, writing. Now, needless to say that we have two parts of the brain, two sides of the brain, and they are connected to each other by a bundle of nerves called corpus callosum. And when we see from the top, this is how we see. Top portion is called the cerebrum. It is having these wrinkle like structures and which has something which is going up and something which is going down. So which is up is called the gyrus and which is down is called the sulcus. The number of these wrinkles are different for different individual. So if we use our brain more, we generate more brain cells, and these cells have to adjust within the same skull, and hence there is more and more wrinkles if there is more brain. So more brain is equal to intelligence. So this is directly related to intelligence of a person. Now, when we look from a different angle, we see that there are four divisions in the cerebrum. So, this is because the sulci is more deeply widened at certain places, and hence these divisions. So, the first division is our frontal lobe, which we can see the blue colored is the front part of the cerebrum. Time for game 2. So, I will give you some questions. You have to find the right answer. Did you get the right answer? Very good. Your intelligence is intact. Now let's check the motor function. That is a function which we do ourselves. That is the involuntary functions. Now, can you move your hand? Can you move the other hand? Can you move your leg? Yes, if you can, it means your motor function is good. Although a vision of the eye is from some other part of the brain, but the movement of eye closing, opening, side to side movement is part of our frontal lobe only. If you can do it, it's fine. Can you talk like this? Yes, this is also controlled by our motor area in the frontal lobe, that is called Broca's area. This controls the movement of lips, mouth, tongue so that we can speak. Okay, so this is also a motor function. Now, can you do all these together like raising your hand, speaking, turning, having a good posture? Posture is important. All this comes under coordination. This is also function of our frontal lobe only. This is another picture where there is coordination, skilled coordination by this baby. And also, can you feel anything looking at this baby? Are you feeling like this is funny, or you feel this is very weird, or you are shocked? That how can ma'am put this, whatever is that feeling, that comes from your emotional part of your forebrain. So in together, the physiological function of frontal lobe would be intelligence, involuntary body movements, movement of eyes, movement of lip and mouth, movement, coordinating movement, and your emotional reactions. Applied physiology means what is the use of learning all these things about the forebrain. Here it is. Lesion to the frontal lobe can lead to lack of concentration, poor memory, poor retention, or even loss of short term memory, which means after every 20 minutes, such patients they forget. And you all, I would say no about this, and that's the reason you are here. And the next is that there is emotional instability, all those emotions that we read about previously. These patients are very hostile and aggressive and have sudden cries or smiling, so it's very weird because they don't have control over the emotions. In case of loss of motor control, the patient is unable to initiate a movement, complete a movement, or even have coordination. And if your Broca's area is impaired, then whatever the patient speak is not fluent or clear, or if they are not able to open their eyes completely or move their eyes side to side, all these are frontal lobe impairment. Next is the parietal lobe, which is just behind the frontal lobe. Let the testing begin. Pinch yourself. You won't, because you have a sensation that it will pain. Similarly, you can see here something bites you, or you are pushing something or pulling a rope, or somebody else is pinching you, or you touch a cotton ball, or you make yourself quiet, or you a feather which is velvety, or the feeling of heat. All these are sensory impulses which are going to the brain in the parietal lobe and giving you a sensation of touch, pressure, pain, temperature. Next sensation is proprioception, which means feeling forces in your joints. When you increase the weight, you feel more forces. Similarly, when you stand on an unstable surface, you feel forces in your joint. That is your proprioception, your kinesthetic movement. Or even sensations like holding an object with closed eyes and making a guess, correct guess. That is called stereognosis. This is also function of the parietal lobe. And if somebody cannot understand what they are holding in their hands with eyes closed, it means they have astereognosis. Now let's revise what all parietal lobe can sense. It senses kinesthetic sensation, that is proprioception. Whenever you move your joint, you feel your joint, that is proprioception. Next is cutaneous sensation, that is touch, pressure, pain, temperature. All this you can feel because of your parietal lobe. And is your stereognosis, which you can perceive anything by closing your eyes. Game 4, this guy pushed this girl. So here we have touch at pressure, and then there is pain felt by the girl. Okay, both of them have the proprioception in their joints because of these movement. And then this girl is giving him pain, and he might have temperature. Okay, so all the sensations done. I hope you understand the parietal lobe, that the parietal lobe is important for taking all these sensation and feelings that we get to the brain and make us react and use our frontal lobe, our reasoning, our motor functions to either save us or whatever is our decision.
Hello children, how are you? I hope you all are doing well. Be quarantined but keep studying, keep learning, okay?
This was game number 5. So we are going to study about the temporal lobe, which is just above your ears. The function of this lobe is to hear the sound. You heard me talk to you, and analysis of pitch. You heard my pitch was different, and to determine the intensity and the source of sound. You know it that it is coming from your phone only. Nobody is speaking at or around you. Other than hearing, one function is to maintain equilibrium. This is because our body is dependent on ear, the inner ear for equilibrium. We know it, we have done in senses. Now last function is that whatever we hear, we memorize that word and we store that in our Wernicke's area of the brain, which is for hearing area, and we use it as memory whenever required. Okay. Now let's test this lobe. Whatever I say, listen to it, learn it and repeat it. Okay, are you ready? I will remember everything I learned today and store in my Wernicke's area. Repeat. Okay, if you remember this, then your temporal is doing fine. Applied physiology. First is aphasia. These people speak without any meaning. It's probably because they can't hear properly and then they speak something which it's just irrelevant. It's nothing to do with mental disorder. Next is tinnitus. When the ears get injured, then there is ringing in the ear kind of feeling, continuous ringing in the ear. And next is hallucination, which is auditory in function, because this part of the brain is active active, these people tend to hear certain things that is not present, and then people believe that there is some ghost or something. The next lobe is the occipital lobe, which is behind the parietal lobe, and its function is to take cues from our visual senses and see and recognize color, words, what is written here wholly, or see a movement that is happening, or remember a shape. This is a shape of a car, and remember that something accident took place when we saw it. So all this remembering, recognizing, interpreting is because of our occipital lobe. And when you see something for the first time and that is there shared as memory into your brain, this is because of the occipital lobe. Thank you guys. If you loved it, do subscribe and press that bell icon so that whenever I put a new video, you get the notification. Like it, share it, and also comment if you have any questions or queries. The next topic would be thalamus. So stay tuned, stay connected. Take care. Bye.